How's it going, everyone? Got some major PlayStation news to talk about. We've got a huge demo that is available right now. I know you guys are going to be very excited for it. Game coming out next month, you guys know what it is. And also Dragon's Dogma 2, a game that has been a little bit polarizing to say the least, has gotten its latest title update. And I think there's a lot to like about Dragon's Dogma 2. I also do think there's some issues with the game, and it's not necessarily my cup of tea, and it's not just because of the microtransactions, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. Still a game that I want to sink more time into. First of all, we do have the Stellar Blade demo that is available right now, so you can finally check out the game, experience a slice of the exhilarating gameplay that awaits in Stellar Blade, the new action-adventure from Korean developer Shift Up. Enjoy a taste of this gripping human fate story as Eve embarks on a desperate mission to save Earth from oblivion. The game itself will be available exclusively on PlayStation 5, I should say, on April 26th. Obviously, won't be on PS4 or anything like that. Could you imagine? I would literally bug out right now if this game was announced for the PS4. But yeah, it looks to be an incredibly compelling exclusive. The demo takes place from the very beginning of the game when Eve, a member of the 7th Airborne Squad, is sent to Earth on a mission to reclaim the planet up to the first boss fight. This first stage will include the tutorial phase to help you familiarize yourself with the basic combat features as you explore post-world Ido 7, a human city now infested, giving you an early grasp of gameplay mechanics that will serve you throughout the game's story. We also have a little surprise included for players who complete the first stage. Maybe like a costume or something like that. I don't know. You guys can play the demo to figure that out, but obviously a lot of the footage did already go live when they accidentally leaked the demo themselves, so it is what it is. From the smooth 60 FPS combat to the haptics you'll feel through the DualSense wireless controller, there are various charms of the game that you can only confidently appreciate through hands-on experience. For those who complete the demo stage, you can in fact carry over your save data when the full game releases on April 26th, starting from the last checkpoint. Please note that save data must be stored on your PlayStation 5 system directly, and it is available right now as I'm recording this video. It is live right now. They also note alongside the demo, the full game will feature the following language options: Korean, English, French, Italian, German, Spanish, Brazilian, Portuguese, and Latin Spanish. So there you go. If Stellar Blade is a game that you are still not completely sold on, if Eve alone is not aesthetically pleasing enough, well, now you can play the game for yourself and decide whether or not the gameplay will be up your alley. And I think as an action game, it's going to be a game that people are excited for. The only skepticism that I have with this game is the fact that it's $70. Action RPGs, new IPs, and games that are coming from unknown studios. I shouldn't really say action RPGs. Action RPGs are a very beloved genre, but new IP and coming from an unknown studio. I've just seen this song and dance too many times when new IPs from unknown studios have been coming out and they've been completely flopping. I don't think Stellar Blade is going to be that. I think this game has a lot working for it. And let me add, I think it is incredibly advantageous that they are releasing this game when they are releasing it. It's not like Rise of the Ronin, where it's coming out the same day as Dragon's Dogma 2. It's not like a lot of these other games that have had big games coming out around the same time. Stellar Blade, you look at the calendar and you look at the game lineup in April, really has that area all to its own. Yeah, you got Mutant Chronicle 100 Heroes, but that's a smaller game that, you know, I myself am very excited for, but it's not a big budget release that the gaming world is going to talk about a lot. Stellar Blade, on the other hand, I do think it's going to be in the gaming discourse quite a bit, and it's going to get extended a little bit because it does have so much free space around it where I don't think people are going to be occupied with other games. I do think this game would have been very, very well received on PC. I think this is a game that now looking at it in hindsight always going to be 2020, but if we had a little bit of foresight 2 years ago or whenever this deal was, you know, made for Stellar Blade to be a PS5 exclusive, man, I would be like, yo, drop this game as a cross-platform title, because while it is a single-player game, and we've seen what PlayStation does, the live service games of the world, your Helldivers 2, those will go on PC right away, but the other games, you gotta wait a year, you gotta wait 2 years, so on and so forth. With Stellar Blade, I just think the PC audience would have gravitated towards this game a lot, and on top of that, it is a new IP. You'll want to have this game resonate at a high level, so how do you increase that natural discourse that people are going to have online? It's by releasing the game on PC so more people can check it out. And obviously, yes, we know the PC audience with the modding community, they would be absolute fiends, they would be absolute degens, but you know what? At the end of the day, that would help promote the game as well. So, as far as promotional vehicle for the game, I just think this is one that a PC release would have been so advantageous. And really, if this game was coming out day one on on PC, no question about it in my opinion that this is an IP that was gonna pop off and it was gonna resonate hard and we would get a sequel. With it being PlayStation 5 only, that makes me a tiny bit more skeptical on how the reception is gonna be from a commercial standpoint. I still think it's gonna do fairly well. At the end of the day, you know, they're getting a game like Stellar Blade because they want to sell more PlayStation 5s. It's just a new IP like this. I don't know if this is a game that's going to sell people on PlayStation 5s. It's a game that, if you already have a PS5, you're going to be pretty excited for it. But this is a game that this release in a vacuum, just looking at it outside of the total picture of, you know, trying to make the PlayStation 5 ecosystem pop off, it's very important that to everyone involved, shift up PlayStation, that Stellar Blade clicks, because if it clicks, what you have then is an IP you can build off of for years and years and years. Suddenly, you have a character, you have an IP that you can build a portfolio around, and suddenly you look at things like Stellar Blade 2, and the potential of it going forward. You talk acquisition with Shift Up. I don't know if that's on the table. Obviously, Shift Up is a second-party studio. Sony is handling the publishing, but there's a lot of moving parts and a lot of elements when it comes to that. I'm sure, like, Sony's a big company. They probably know what they're doing better than me. I just think for the best interest of the IP, not PlayStation, the ecosystem, for the IP, it would have been to do a release on PC as well, because again, I just think this is a game PC audience would have absolutely gravitated towards, and again, very easy to promote as well, to say the least. So there you go with that. Stellar Blade, the demo, is available now. I'm sure it'll come out on PC at some point. It's just, I don't know how it's gonna do 2 years from now. If it's still priced at 60 to 70 bucks, like, that might be a little bit of a tough sell at that point, but I'm still sure it'll do fairly well. Lastly, do want to know, Dragon's Dogma 2 title update on PlayStation 5 and PC has dropped, adding the option to start a new game when save data already exists. Let's go! Changing the number of Art of Metamorphosis items available at pawn guilds in the game to 99, making the quest that allows players to acquire their own dwelling available earlier in the game, miscellaneous text display issues, miscellaneous bug fixes on PS5 and Steam, and then on PlayStation 5, adding the option to switch motion blur on and off, adding the option to switch ray tracing on and off, adding the option to set frame rate at max 30 FPS in options. I know some of you guys are going to be like, why would you want to do that? Well, some people prefer having a more consistent FPS rather than a variable FPS that's going all over the place from 35 to 60. You guys get the idea. And some people, I don't know, I've talked to people that genuinely prefer 30 FPS over 60 FPS. I think they're crazy, but you know what? It's their preference. More power to you. Have at it. But there you go with that. There are also some other PC fixes that I've rolled out. Look, Dogma 2, microtransactions aside and performance issues aside, there's certainly an incredibly compelling RPG here. It's just mechanically, this is a game that you really have to know what you're getting yourself into. It is very much tailored for the exploration, and honestly a little bit of a throwback, which is what a lot of people wanted out of this game. It's just much like I think about a game like Elden Ring. Elden Ring was a game that I feel like hit the mainstream zeitgeist of people talking about it so much that like the non-Souls-like fans checked it out as well. They didn't know what they were getting themselves into. Dragon's Dogma 2, I think, is very much like that, where a lot of people don't know what they're getting themselves into in terms of an open-world action RPG. There's kind of like a foundational design that open-world action RPGs are known for, and Dragon's Dogma 2 is very different from the ones that we get today. Not to say it's bad by any stretch of the imagination. It's just a little different in terms of hand-holding and how it does traveling. I know is a big talking point, but there is a good bit of content, and the actual exploration in this game, that's where I think is the best part about this game, the heart of the game. If you can get into exploring the entire open world and taking your time, there's a lot to find and there's a lot to delve into, and I'm sure it's going to get a lot more updates. There's already talk of DLC, so there you go with that. You know, check it out if you're interested. I know some of you guys are checking out Ronin, some of you guys are checking out Dogma 2, some of you guys are bandits and are checking out both, but yeah, that'll do it for me. Again, Stellar Blade, the demo out right now. Remember, standard game, April 26th. There is a digital deluxe edition. Really, nothing too crazy, just some in-game items, but some suits that I know some people are going to want to check out, so take that for what it's worth. And Dragon's Dogma 2 gets a title update, so a lot of nice fixes there. That's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.